Looks good. Let's see. Let's get the microphone a little bit. Hopefully you can hear me. Okay, so let's do some housekeeping. Oh, yeah, like updating the title because we're not gonna do Trials of Mana tonight. So let's update that.
Do it! Maximize!
Hey, Pixel Knight. Just doing the housekeeping. Oh, let's see. All right, we've got that updated. Now we will go to YouTube and update it there. Um, here. That's right. What's up, Jared? We are just getting started. I'm doing the housekeeping at the beginning. You know, in fact, let me. Yeah, there we go. Let's just pull up a bit of chat while I do this. There we go. And then I go here. And here. Okay. So let's copy that. Yeah, let's see this. And add the thumbnail. Okay. Oh, it's not? You're right. YouTube chat is not making it into the Twitch chat. All right. We'll write that down. Jared, can you see the Twitch chat in the YouTube chat? Okay. Well, maybe we'll keep the merged chat on the screen because this is mostly going to be a discussion stream. What I just want to something I've been meaning to do is when I'm looking forward to a game, I will take a trailer for it or something, and I will put it into a playlist, into a YouTube playlist. We've brought this up once or twice on the stream before, added things to it and whatnot. So it's gotten quite long. So I was like, you know what? Let's go through that. Tonight says currently 100%ing Lego Batman 3 on the 3DS. All right, that's cool. Okay, so yeah, I think I've got all the stuff there. So okay. So yes, let's start. Let's see, let's put this over here. Okay, so if I pull this up and go here. Okay, good. So now we can see the trailer and we can chat about it and all that good stuff. So yeah, I kind of want to, discuss each game, why I put it on the list, and kind of discuss whether or not I should leave it on the list. And then yeah, let's, as we're going, if there's a game that that you want to talk about or a trailer that you want to talk about, then let's stick it in chat and let's talk about it. So Pixel Nice says, unsurprisingly, the console version is much better. That's usually the case. Jared says, oh, perfect. Feels appropriate that I just tonight finished making the last of playtesting cards for the minimum viable product, my card game. There we go. Perfect. So yeah, I'm going to talk about some of the games that have got me interested, both video games and board games, because a lot of board games have made it onto this list. And maybe I can talk a little bit about like my backlog and some of the games that are in there and whatnot. So yeah, it should be fun. So let me know. Let's see. I might need to put on headphones so that I can hear the trailer without having it get picked up by the microphone. Okay. So that probably sounds a lot louder. Okay. So I remember I saw this in a Nintendo Direct. It was in an Indie World Direct. And immediately it catches my attention because of the art style. I'm a big fan of pixel art. Those are the games I grew up with. So, when a game has nice pixel art, that's a good way to get my attention. And so I see that a few things right off the bat. Besides the art style, first is the... Oh, that went really fast. First is the weapon, the gunbrella. Yeah, that really stuck out to me. And actually this one is... And then you have this one right here. I caught this and I said, oh, they're going to have meaningful choices in this game. Well, I don't know, meaningful might be a little loose, but they're going to be choices in the game that the player has to make. It's not just going to be like a Mario game where the object is just to get to the end of every level. There's going to be choices that have to be made as you're going through it. And so between the interesting weapon, gunbrella, and the choices and the art style, I was like, okay, that's cool. And so here it says Gunbrella 2023, and honestly, I haven't seen what happened since. I don't know if it's out or what. So let me check that. Yeah, it still says initial release date 2023. So I don't... Let's see, is it out on Steam? Let's see. Buy Gunbrella. Okay, so it looks like it's out on Steam. Let's see if it's out on the eShop. Because I didn't know it was out. Let's see. Nintendo eShop. And let's search for... Oh, I have to verify my age? Is this a rated M game? Oh, it says you can download the demo. Oh, and it is rated M. Blood, violence, and strong language. Well, you guys know that Now, yeah, you guys know that I don't play rated M games, and one of the reasons I don't play rated M games is it puts like a hard filter. Because honestly, my games collection would be a whole lot bigger if I had every game that I wanted, but putting a limit and saying, look, just no rated M games in my collection, it puts a hard filter on, what I will and won't put. And so, while the game looks really cool, I think I'm going to take it out just for being rated M. And that's part of, why we're going through this tonight. Let's go through the trailers, let's research the games and all that good stuff. Pixel says, I really want to get the new Power Rangers role-playing game, plus the 2 expansions. Both of the expansions based on my 2 favorite shows in the series. Yeah, I saw you posted one was on Time Force. Now, when you say role-playing game, is this like a D&D type game with a rule book and everything? Because I know that there's a, what is it? I think there's a Power Rangers tabletop game that I've seen in some of the local game shops I've been in. Because I actually have a different Power Rangers game. My brother says, need a vid angel for video games. So yeah, let me pull this up real quick. So I have... Yes, basically Power Rangers Dean. Okay. Because yeah, I have this one. And I got this one specifically because it was different. I was not looking for a tabletop role-playing game because I know that those are more involved. And as far as my enthusiasm for tabletop games and board games, I really want a game that I can sit down, get through, even if it takes a long time. I want to get through the whole play session in one session and then be done. And so I got this one. This is a game that I have not played yet. I have gone through and like sleeved the cards and whatnot. But it's just one of those games that's on my shelf that I need to get out to the table and play it. It's a deck building game. You can see right on the box, Power Rangers deck building game. So in this game, you play as two. You play either as the villains or the Rangers. So it's a 2v2 game. So yeah, you can see on the back here. Play as Rangers or villains, includes over 170 cards. Play 1v1, 2v1, or 2v2. So, yeah, it's a 1, 2, or 3 player game. And it just looks really interesting. So, and, when you're starting to get into something new, you kind of go with what you know. You start with the licensed stuff. And so, like, I have some Mega Man board games that I've shown before. Maybe I'll pull those off the shelf, but yeah, it's the same way when people get into video games. Usually the gateway video game is either something so prevailing like Mario, or you pick something that you like, a licensed game that you like, and hopefully it works out. Because sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're really bad. Pixel Nice says, I have some friends who might want to do a one-shot with me as the DM. Yeah, and I think there's a special name for that. So yeah, Pixel Knight's gonna be right back. So let's jump back over here. Okay, so we've got Gumbrella taken care of. So the next one is Card Shark. I know this one is out, but this game looked really cool. Because yeah, first of all, it's a mystery. I'm a sucker for a good mystery game, but the mechanics are not playing the card game. The mechanics are how well can you cheat at the card game. And so you have to go in, bluff when you're supposed to, get away with it, and make sure that nobody calls you out while you're cheating. So you can see a lot of the mechanics are, you know, sending the right signal, shuffling correctly, marking the cards. And I also saw this one at an Indie World's showcase. So it looks like we have a little combat in here. But yes, this one is out, and I have downloaded the demo for it. So yes, this is definitely one that I'm going to play the demo, check it out, and then, you know, I'll play it or stream it eventually. But yeah, Card Sharks just looked really interesting. Let's see. So this next one, again, you'll notice a theme for games that I like, but this one is called Cyber Shadow. And right there, Yacht Club Games. For those of you who don't know, Yacht Club Games were the developers and publishers of Shovel Knight. And I'm a huge fan of Shovel Knight. And so, from what I understand, Yacht Club Games started publishing other indie games, and this is one of them that they published. So this was created by Mechanical Head, if I remember right. And so, yeah, this one is the release date trailer, so I have seen people play it. Very Ninja Gaiden-esque with the character and the movement. Yeah, this one looks more like, you know, this is the platformer where you get to the end and you overcome all the obstacles. You know, and honestly, action platformer, that's my bread and butter. If you can get a good action platformer that looks nice, then yeah, I'm going to want to try it. And there's definitely a few more games that are on this list that fall right into the same vein. So yeah, this one, yes, has been out for a while. It's still on the list because I haven't bought it yet. I just leave them on here. This also kind of doubles as my wish list, so... yeah, this is another one that I was thinking about just as I was describing it. Panzer Paladin.
With Panzer Paladin, the weapon-smashing action platformer game with intuitive swordplay. Take control of Grit, the mighty Paladin power armor, or eject and play as Flame, the small but swift squire pilot. Over 100.
I have also seen other people play this game.
With the blacksmith.
Looks super fun.
To cast a powerful spell. In a hurry, set or slice a world record in the speedrun mode. Slash, bash, and thrust your way through 17 mind-blowing levels located around the world.
See, and for
Panzer Paladin, available now.
For games like, and you'll notice here that this is made by Tribute. And if you're looking for a Tribute game you're familiar with, I'll point you at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Tribute also made that game. It's fantastic, great pixel art. And so I have seen other people play this game. It looks way fun. And these games where it's more, you know, like, where the challenge is in overcoming all the obstacles, you know, as far as my streaming mentality when it comes to that, for these shorter games, kind of like Mega Man, it's a shorter game. I don't feel like I should learn it while streaming. I feel like I should learn it while it's just me, and then kind of then play it on stream and say, you know, this is what I liked about the game, this is what I didn't. Kind of do a live review kind of thing.
Switch.
So yep, there's that Tribute logo there. Okay, so Harry Potter is just like, we're going through a wave of that in my house. My oldest daughter is in the middle of reading the book. She's on book 6.
Magic, both beautiful and powerful, binds together our long history.
And
that common bond we share,
you know,
is the legacy of Hogwarts.
And I really didn't get into like the movie tie-in games very much because, you know, movie tie-in games are generally
your own
bad.
Story to these hallowed halls.
I have played a few of them. Like I played the Game Boy Color RPG for Chamber of Secrets.
Every
And,
corridor, every portrait, every
you know, I
stone
think we've all
in
been
this
kind of
castle
waiting
tells
for
the story. Witches
like
and
a
wizards
good Harry Potter
who
game,
came
and this was
before.
supposed to be that. And from what I understand,
You will meet
this
lifelong
is
friends
that.
and
The
grow
people
into
who
your own
enjoy
magical
Harry
abilities
Potter in, you know,
in the
Hogwarts.
classrooms of the
Because
world's
yeah, that's the
most
thing is this is not a Harry
professors.
Potter game. This is
And while your journey
a
begins at
Hogwarts game where
Hogwarts,
you play as a
your
wizard and
inventions
you transfer to
contain
Hogwarts and
fantastic
you're a fifth
beasts,
year and you kind of go on your own journey through the school. So,
there is a larger world beyond these walls. A world filled with dangers you can't yet imagine.
so I've had people,
Long gone
you know,
from
close
this
to me
world.
buy the game, play the game. And honestly, one of the things that's stopping me for this one is I want to buy a PlayStation 5 to play it on. I don't want to play it on the Switch. I know it's about to come out on Switch, or maybe just came out on Switch, but
Is limitless.
you know, this is a game, and there's a few games that are on that list of games that I want to play, but I want to play them on more powerful hardware, specifically PlayStation 5. So it's Hogwarts Legacy, and it's also the latest Sonic game. What was it? Sonic Frontiers. That's the one.
Choices you make now will define the legacy of Hogwarts.
Okay, yeah. So Jared says, I'm curious. We call these indie games, but aren't they still developed by gaming companies? I'm not sure how it works and how it's defined in video games, but in books, you're considered an indie author when you don't go through a publishing company. And you publish the book totally independently. And Jared says, this is not the same for video games. It is a little different for video games because, honestly, indie. It's funny, there's a little controversy going around about this right now because the Game Awards happen at the beginning of December. Video games have their own award show, and they released the nominees for the best indie game, and one of the nominees for the best indie game is a studio that is owned by a big AAA studio, and so you know they have big AAA money behind it, and so it you know, a lot of people are pointing at that game. This game is called Dave the Diver, and they're saying this is not an indie game. This has big AAA money behind it. This is a company that's owned by it. In general, when we refer to it as an indie game, it means that it's developed by an independent studio. So, like Yacht Club Games, their first game was Shovel Knight. They developed it independently. It's kind of, I think independent films are the same way. I mean, independent films are not made by a single person like an independent book maybe, but they're made by small independent studios, and games are the same way. So, but the line is definitely very fuzzy. And so Drew's here. Hi, Drew. Pixel Knight says the Time Force expansion Quantum Ranger acts as a subclass. I believe it's the only one that does. We also got Orange and Purple Ranger rolls, and I like how they made them. Orange and purple for Time Force, or orange and purple for... Oh, what's the Kung Fu one? I don't remember. I don't remember the name of the series, but yeah, there's a Kung Fu one. I think we had Orange Purple Ranger and like Dinosaur one. I can't remember the name of the series either. Drew says indie movies are anything not made by Disney. Yeah, well, we're gonna be there eventually for sure. Hey, gotta go upstairs. What's she doing? Mommy's not down here. You wanna say hi? Say hi. Say, I'm the baby. Say, not the mama.
I'm mommy.
Where is mommy? Hey, where's mommy?
In
All right. Will you go up and find her? Okay. Mwah. Bye-bye. Go to mom. What? Yes, that's a robot. Okay, gotta go to mom. Go upstairs. Bye-bye. Don't walk into the light. Close the door. Bye-bye. All right, well, we will see how long that lasts. Oh, Pixel Knight's the In Space expansion. Yes, In Space is one of my favorites. It has 3 classes as well. Grid Bending Silver Ranger, Gold Ranger, Time Hopping Phantom. Also, White, Quantum, and Phantom are putting it into the Event Spectrum category. Excellent. Excellent. There are more general classes, but they're primarily based on the SPD Cat Ranger for orange. Oh, Jungle Fury, that's what it was. Jungle Fury purple for purple. Okay, sweet, sweet. Drew says, don't go towards the light. Oh, I didn't put the chat on. There we go. Okay. So yeah, we're just discussing games that I'm looking forward to, and it's kind of on my wish list. So Drew asks, are Thursday streams a thing already? Kind of. Streams are going to be very hit or miss for a while. You know, I only stream if I'm excited to stream that night, and that's not every Thursday. And I've got a lot on my plate for work. So I've actually volunteered to do some freelance work on the side. And so I don't know how much that's going to get into it, but you know, and then we're just going to be busy because we have a baby coming in February. So there's going to be a lot of, you know, this or that going on around, and we'll see what happens. But yes, generally if I am streaming, it's usually on a Thursday, so Pixel Knight says, I actually plan to make a homebrew purple, so my job was made a ton easier. Excellent. Okay, so yeah, this one is up for discussion. Pac-Man World Repack. This is a remake of a PlayStation 1 game.
Has gathered for Pac-Man's birthday party. What?
And so I'm familiar with this game because it's old. You know, it's a classic. And honestly, I think if Pac-Man wasn't in this game, it wouldn't be as beloved as it is. But
Rescue the Pac family! Head to Ghost Island! Pac-Man World Repack! Set off on a grand adventure in this full remake of Pac-Man
yeah,
World.
full remake of Pac-Man World for the PlayStation 1. And honestly,
Explore
my backlog is pretty big.
in order to save
And
your kidnapped family.
I don't know.
Bad guys that stand in
I mean, I'm fine leaving it on my wish list, but it's one of those games where I just feel like I'm never going to get to it.
Feed your appetite for adventure! Pac-Man World Repack! Coming August 26th,
So
2022.
yeah, I just don't know. Drew says, ooh, freelance, need any help? I would. If I needed a video editor or a music guy, I'd totally call you. But this is freelance coding work. We're going to be creating an app. It's me and some of my old coworkers. I mean, and it's something that already has a client and some seed money. So, yeah, this isn't, you know, like me getting together with some buddies and working on a side project. This is, you know, genuine freelance work and whatnot. So we'll see. We'll see how it comes together. It's still very early in the process, but you know, if I'm working some extra hours, then I think that's going to cut into stuff like streaming and making YouTube videos and stuff. And the new baby's going to do the same thing and whatever. So we will see. Pay your dues in your industry. Once you get good enough, then you can start doing a little freelance work. Or, like what my brother Andrew, I mean, you can pay your dues while doing freelance work. That works too. Pixel Knight says, I hate how Pac Mom looks so out of place compared to the others. Yeah, because I think that it used to be a different model. I think it was the Ms. Pac-Man. I'm not for sure on that. But yeah, I think they replaced that from Ms. Pac-Man to this Pac-Mom character. And yeah, it does make her look, I mean their eyes are supposed to look like this Pac Kid. I don't know why I don't know why the girl's eyes look so weird. Weird. So
Pre-order the Chrome Noir Chogokin bundle.
yeah, well, I'm not doing any pre-ordering. The game came out a year and a half ago. That's right, it is the eyes, yeah. Okay, now this one. This is the latest in one of my favorite RPG series, Valkyrie Profile. And so there are 3 games in the series, and this is the 4th one. And I'm sad because the thing that I really liked about Valkyrie Profile was the battle system, and they have abandoned it in this game. It's one of those that I'm interested in because I'm interested in the series. The plot, the world that it takes place in is super interesting. It's all based on Norse mythology, where you play as a Valkyrie and you're recruiting on Heriar to come to Valhalla in preparation of Ragnarok. But I don't know.
Return back from whence you came, lost soul.
I've already lost my homeland.
Like, I want to give it a try because I like the series and I like the world, but
You would have me battle, even in death.
Glory. I've no interest in that. There's nothing left for me in this world. I just want a chance to make things right.
My name is Christopher. I have protected this land and its people as my forefathers did before me. Very well, then I pledge my loyalty as your Inherior until the very end.
You are a being of divine power, are you not? Please, would you hear my plea?
and it's interesting because what you get out of this on Heriar system is you get a variety of party members that can be a part of your team.
Wretched soul, by Odin's command, you shall be purified.
And it's one of those things that if I wasn't a fan of the series, I don't know if I would. I probably wouldn't pay any interest to this at all.
If I had to guess, I'd say this was Gungnir.
My interest in RPGs has, waxed and waned over the years, and right now it's at a waning period because RPGs are just long, and when I play a game, I want it to be less of a pastime. See, that right there, that's an iconic move from the series, so that got my attention. But I don't know. What do you guys think? It's an action RPG. When I play RPGs, I do like the action variety, like Secret of Mana, like we're playing through Trials of Mana right now. Pixel Knight, get a variety of party members, so unique for RPGs. I think it is. A lot of the RPGs, you get like a fixed party, and that's it. You just have that party for the rest of the game.
I failed to warn you of her. Our adversary was once a second-class Icia.
And I don't know how they're going to do it in this game, but like in the first Valkyrie Profile game,
I merely wish for the world to continue existing.
like your party is continually turning over. You'll start with 3 people, and then when you're done training them, they get sent off to Valhalla, and then you get more people. So you have a constantly rotating party that you have to become familiar with. And I like that. I like that change in my in my RPGs. So, you know, it's something that I think sets apart. And maybe in newer, more modern RPGs, that's not the case. Like, I don't know. I'm mostly thinking of like Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest. I mean, I think in Xenoblade it's the same. Maybe not. But yeah. But I know that even in some old ones, oh, what's Suikoden? Like in Suikoden, there's like 99 party members. I mean, that was the whole draw for Pokemon, was that you just got to pick your own party. So I still feel like it's unique, but maybe it's not as unique as I would remember it. Okay, now this is a collection made by Digital Eclipse.
Video games, a worldwide phenomenon.
And the draw for this game is this is more about, this is like more of an interactive documentary of the days of Atari.
All this inspiration that came from Atari gets to come full circle.
And so, you know, if you like video game history like me, then this is like a must-have. So this is definitely a game that I'm going to get and play through. I have seen other people stream it and, you know, talk about it, and
the children looked upon it and saw that it was good.
I would literally.
Yeah, it's one of those where if you like the history of video games, then this is just one that you need to play through and experience.
Since then is building on what Atari created.
I actually have a game on Steam called Atari Vault, and it's just like 60 Atari games. And I got it just because I have not played very many Atari games, and you know, they haven't aged all that well. They're mostly high score based arcade games. So, but this seems to be, you know, just that, but they've done what they can to help it age better. They realize that these old Atari games are probably not going to hook you and make you want to come back again and again, but if you can learn a little bit about them, then knowing the story behind them and that context for it, then it makes it interesting.
Enter a new grid in this narrative.
Let's see. Pixel says in Persona, you get a party and you can mix and match minus your main. Yeah, and a lot of them do it like that. Like even in like Legend of Dragoon, you get like 6 party members, but you can only have 3 in your party at a time, so you can rotate them around. But I guess when I mean a variety of party members, you are like forced to rotate through them. You can't just pick your favorites and just roll the whole game with them. So yeah. Pixel says no ET remake 0 out of 10. And there's a really interesting ET documentary out there about kind of what it was like to make that game by the developers behind it. It's super interesting. It actually makes you feel bad that the game has the reputation that it does, because the amount of work that went into it was just fascinating. And Pixel says looks like a fun little novelty to play time to time. Yeah. So yeah, here's one that might come out of the list. I'm a fan of Tron. I like Tron. This one was kind of a
within the Tron universe.
This is like
uncover dangerous truths and retrieve what was lost as you navigate through a perilous world. Your decisions and the alliances you forge will impact your journey and the entire server. Tron Identity launches first for consoles on Nintendo Switch this April.
So yeah, that one feels more like a visual novel, and while I do like the Ace Attorney series a lot, I don't know about Tron Legacy. That might, I mean, maybe I'll have to look up how long it takes to beat that. Let me do that real quick. See if it even got released. Tron Legacy. Or no, Tron Identity, not Tron Legacy. So it looks like it's $15. And let's see, let's check it out on how long to beat. How long to beat. All right, let's pull this up. Tron Legacy. No results found. Wait, what? Search for Tron. Okay. Is it Tron Legacy? Nope, it's just not on How Long to Beat. Crazy. Oh, Tron Identity. Nope, it's just not there. Okay, so yeah, that one I'm still a maybe on.
Get your tactical skills ready.
Pixelnight says Persona 3 Portable and its remake are on my list, along with Persona 5 Royal. Oh yeah, from what I hear about the Persona games, they are excellent RPGs.
Calling all strategy fans. The Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp game is only a couple of months away.
Hey, what's up? It's John Paul O'Keefe.
And more in
We're talking about games that, we're looking forward to. And so this I remember Advance Wars on the Game Boy Advance. I didn't play it back then. Back then you kind of had to pick between this and Fire Emblem, and I ended up picking Fire Emblem. And so when they said, "Oh, okay, we're going to remake it," I was like, "Oh, I will 100% try it then." John says we need a new Mega Man game. Did you play Mega Man 11? See, I know Mega Man 11 was the most recent new Mega Man game, but I'm all for it. There are a couple games. There are lots of games inspired from it. There's a roguelike called 20XX that I've played, and then there's another one called 30XX. I don't know if it's out yet or not, but I mean that one is very heavily inspired. And so if you like roguelikes, I'd recommend that one. That's a good one. But yeah, I need to catch up on the Mega Man series. Now, this is an example of a game I don't think I would ever stream because it's a puzzle game. It's mostly about, can you figure out the puzzle? And if you can't figure out the puzzle on the stream, then you just get stuck. And it's like, well, that's not fun to watch. Oh, that's the whole thing? I just put the teaser on here? Oh, let's see if they've done anything with this. Professor Layton and the New World of Steam. Alright, let's see. Let's see what we have here. Let's check the eShop. Alright, so let's pull this over here. Professor Layton. Professor Layton in the New World of Steam. Not out yet. Release to be determined. So, yeah, this is one that I definitely want to watch. Because I'm a big fan of the Professor Layton series. I think I have every Professor Layton game. And I have played through half of them. Because, yeah, if you like Ace Attorney, then Professor Layton kind of scratches that same itch. It's just a different flavor of the same kind of hook. And so I have them and I've played them. I'm in this really bad habit of buying an entire series that I like, but not playing them all the way through. And that's where I'm at with Ace Attorney as well. I've played through 6. I've played through 6 games in the Ace Attorney series. I don't even think that's half of them. So, yeah, this is definitely one that I want to keep watching. So, yeah. Pixelnight says, I want a Mega Man Star Force collection so bad. I know it would need modifications because of the touchscreen, but I don't care. I want it. Plus the basic battle system doesn't even use touchscreen. I think they could do it. I think the Capcom could do it if they wanted to, but that having those, doing more than just throwing it in a collection definitely makes it less likely. So yes, here's the Tears of the Kingdom, the first trailer. I know this game is out. I actually have the amiibo for it, but I don't have the game yet. And it's because I know that this game is just going to be so big. And the big hook for me in Breath of the Wild was just the freedom to explore. And I honestly think that kind of gating that freedom to explore behind creating, custom mechs and using, different parts to build things is going to hamper my fun a bit. And I also know it's going to be really long, which is why I haven't bought it yet. But it's definitely on. I mean, I really did enjoy Breath of the Wild, and so knowing that this is in the same vein as that, I'm definitely going to play it. John says Tears of the Kingdom is okay. It's fun. Pixel Knight says Tears of the Kingdom is really fun. I need to get back to it. Jared says my wife really wants this game. What? And John says I feel like it's overhyped, and I don't feel that way about every Zelda game. I know that they're huge out here in the West. And, this is like the quintessential, I'm a hardcore gamer series to enjoy. But I have always preferred Mario because I like the challenge over the exploration. Oh, yeah. 5/12/2023. So, yeah, there's a lot that goes into it.
Rated E for everyone.
But it's one that I am perfectly comfortable just leaving on this list, knowing that I will get to it. I mean, I don't have to wait for a sale, or I mean, if anything, I wait for the next Switch to come out and buy it on that platform because I'm positive it's going to come out on that platform. Maybe not 100% positive, but really good chance that they release the next system next year. And one of the launch games is Tears of the Kingdom. And, people will eat it up. Jared says Breath of the Wild was the first in-depth video she ever got into. And I think it means video game, yeah. And it just does it so well. So, I mean, I know I've talked about it a lot on here, but yeah, that they really perfected the exploration formula for a guy like me who's not as hooked by exploration as others. So this one is a little bit different. This game was originally launched as an NES cart years ago. I mean, not like 30 years ago. But yes, this was an 8-bit homebrew game that was initially only released on an NES cart that you put into your NES and you played it. And it's only now coming to modern systems. Because I've seen a lot of like retro streamers that have this cartridge and played it. But they've all told me that I would enjoy this game, but that it's very difficult. A lot of them described it as, like a more difficult kind of like Mega Man crossed I Want to Be the Guy. And you can, if you know the game I Want to Be the Guy, you can kind of see it in the, you can definitely see it. But yes, the cool part about this game was that it could be run on an NES. So yes, JP says it looks like a Mega Man ROM. Yes, that's exactly, kind of how it was described to me, and so it's definitely on this list. My wife is in the chat. Happy Mama says, say hi to Brooke. Is she coming down again? She's already been down here once. Looks nice. So it looks like a Zelda game where you can make a giant Death Star laser to kill Ganon. Yes. Okay, so it looks like we've gone from the video games to the board games now. So I'll just describe a little bit about them. Let's see.
You can see here we have three evidence going to this.
So the thing about board games is instead of having graphics, a lot of them have theming instead. And so this game I'm interested in is a 2-player game, and it has the theming around Watergate, whereas one player plays as a journalist trying to expose the Watergate scandal, and another one plays as Richard Nixon, who's trying to hide the Watergate scandal. And while it's not my favorite theme, political intrigue can be interesting. I don't. The reason that this game is on this list is because I've been told that it is just excellent one-on-one PvP gameplay, which these are the games that I look into for my wife, who's in chat right now. She says, my youngest wants to come down, but I'm trying to keep her up here by showing you on the screen. So, and Scooter's here. Hey, Scooter. And so, yeah, this is the big draw for this board game. So, yeah, Scooter, we're talking about games that we're looking forward to. We just hit a big chunk of board games.
So the question, though, is how do we get to this spot? Well, you're just going to play round after round until one of the players wins.
So then we have Onitama, which is another one in that same vein. It's a one-on-one.
Hello. On the arch, matching your
This is similar to like chess
on either side. These are the movement cards. Shuffle them and deal 2.
So I'm interested in this one. Schlottentotten 2 is I have Schlottentotten 1 behind me. Pixel Knight says, Link, you've come to stop me. What is that music? Imperial March playing while Link's giant laser comes in? How you doing, Scooter? I hope you're doing well. Hope that new dad thing hasn't caught up to you too much yet. Okay, Schlottentotten 2, Elder Sign. Okay, Elder Sign. Let's see. Here's one that I should brush up on a bit.
This is Tom with a Board Gamer. Let's take or choose an ancient one to challenge.
I remember why I put this one on the list. This was supposed to be a good game. Good night, Jared. This is supposed to be a good game that you could play, a good co-op game, and I got it for checking out with my kids.
Tokens in a cup to be randomly drawn throughout the game. Next, shuffle the adventure deck and draw 6 cards and place them in the center of the table. Place the adventure deck next to the drawn cards along with the other world deck.
Pixel Knight says there's an unnecessary inventions board game where you have to pitch a dumb invention to solve a simple problem. Oh, yes, and there's the Kensei Zero stream shout out. Usually we play with, we're playing Trials of Mana with him, but let's see, I will have to check this one out. Forbidden Island is a good co-op game. Stuff Fabled is a good game to play with kids. Then we have a hidden movement game, Gizmos. See, this one is, you actually reminded me at Pixel Night when you said unnecessary inventions.
Everyone's been working hard on their creations, but only one will be crowned champion. Contestants have to think on
So in this one, you have to create little gizmos.
The game ends once one player builds their 4th level 3 gizmo or 16 gizmos total. Play until the end of that round. The winner is the player with action. Each turn building. The game, you can take one of the 4
and what's interesting about it is
that gizmo goes in your filing area, and at the start of the game, you can only hold one. The game board sets a 4 marbles, ability. Smoke and friendly and bright with its is between.
Maybe I'm thinking of
use
something
your
else.
engine to its
my bad. Let's see, Smash Up, My Little Scythe. This, if any of you guys are familiar with Scythe, it's a very popular hobbyist board game, and My Little Scythe is a game that everyone seems to be like, oh, this is great to play with kids. And I'm like, okay, because I've played Scythe, and so My Little Scythe is one that I'm like, okay, if my kids get more into games, which they are getting towards it. Pixel Knight says, sorry if I'm not adding much to help you decide. That's okay. Just recently, like in the past couple weeks, my kids have really started like pulling out the Switch. They're like, can I play this game? They've wanted to play Just Dance more, a few of the games that they've gotten. And so they've got video games on their wish lists to Santa. And so Santa's going to be bringing them some games. It'll be interesting to see, because just video games themselves kind of ebb and flow in my house with the kids. So it'll be interesting to see how that all kind of shakes out. Okay, so here's one that, I had to put on my kind of wish list. I have a lot of Sonic collections, but this one seems to be like the definitive version. Yeah, Sonic Origins Plus. And I'm like, okay. Because to be honest, I have never like seriously played Sonic. I played Sonic 2 a little bit because my cousin had it when I was growing up. But I've never like sat down and said, I am now going to attempt to beat a Sonic game. And that's on my list to do. And when I do it, I think, at least from what I've heard, this is like the definitive version of it. Pixel says, I really want Sonic Origins Plus. A big factor of that is the Game Gear games and Amy. Yeah, see, I have a Sonic Mega Collection for the PlayStation 2, and that has a lot of Game Gear games on it as well. Play a super-powered Amy Rose? Oh, that's new. At least I think it's new. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Amy in Sonic 2 or 3, and she's not in that game. I know that Amy's initial release was Sonic CD. So, 16 titles in one collection. Yeah, so, you know, that's gotta be... Oh yeah, and then I already talked a little bit about this. Sonic Frontiers is a game that I want to play, but I want to play it on upgraded hardware from the Switch. Why did I put this trailer in this? What is this? Because I want to get a PlayStation 5, so I can play this and Hogwarts Legacy and like a few other games. Or I want to play them, but I want to play them on more powerful hardware than the Switch. Sonic's Birthday Bash update trailer. Pixel Nice says, nah, Game Boy Advance version of Sonic 1 is the best. Oh, yeah. Okay.
What if the X-Wing miniatures game...
Okay, now, for those of you guys who like board games, this channel, Little Big Thumbs, the whole point of this channel is to get board games that kids would like and adults can like, and they can play together and everyone has fun. Because I have a few board games that I play with my kids, and it's just the kids having fun. I'm not having fun. But the whole point of this channel is to find games where everyone has fun. And that's really cool. So yeah, this Little Big Thumbs channel, if you guys like board games and have kids, this is definitely a channel to look out for. Super cool channel. So again, we've got a theme here. This is one. Gravity Circuit, again, nice pixel art, action platformer. You know, this is my bread and butter, so this definitely made the list of, yeah, games that I definitely want to check out. Mech suits are always good. Pixel Nice is Sonic Frontiers is another one I need to get back to. And it's so interesting. Pixel Nice says this is another wishlist game. Oh, for sure. Are those different characters or just different mechs? Gravity Circuit. Okay. Now, if you guys have seen the video on my channel where I'm talking about Spy vs. Spy, and I say we need a modern take on Spy vs. Spy for the NES, because there's no game that's like it. Just there isn't. I have looked and I haven't found another game that's like it. I was scrolling through Twitter and this trailer came up, and I watched the trailer and I was like, are you kidding me? This looks awesome. Pixel Knight says, for me, I think those guys are the bosses. Oh, okay. That would make sense. But yeah. Spy versus Spy. This seems to be the modern take on that game. And I am here for it. So again, if you've seen that video on my channel, you'll know why I'm excited. You know, it's got split screen, you're searching. The whole goal is to get the information before your opponent does. Whoever has the best information wins the game. You can see them setting traps, checking the map. They can see each other. I think they'll end up doing a fight. But yeah, and instead of being a spy that's infiltrating a house and getting plans, in this one you're a ninja. Oh, okay. It looks so good.
Double Dragon Gaiden, Rise of the Dragon.
As soon as Double Dragon Gaiden Rise of the Dragon starts up, the music instantly sucks you in and gets you ready for what lies ahead. Double Dragon, a new game.
I was not going to show his face. I was going to say, if you guys have watched any of Slope's Game Room, I enjoy his channel very much. He covers a lot of games that I did not play growing up. He covers a lot of Sega games and that. And so I actually put this game on the list after watching his review. I wasn't interested in Double Dragon Gaiden, Rise of the Dragons, until I watched his review. And the way that he explains the game is what made me want to try it. So I put his review on this list for that reason. If I ever forgot, I don't know why I was interested. Because when it comes to Double Dragon, I've played 1 and 2. And that was it. I did not play the series after that. I think I caught like one episode of the Double Dragon cartoon when I was a kid. Just like one time when I was flipping through the channels. But I just didn't follow the series after that. But the tune always stuck in my head, you know. So yeah, this is one that I was like, okay, he's got me convinced. I at least want to try it for sure. Okay, let's see. Honk, Deep Blue, Ice Cool. Yeah, see, Ice Cool I can take off the list. I don't need that one. Drop It. Okay, let me know what you guys think about this one.
So once it's there and once you score points, it doesn't. That's it. Once everyone has placed all their pieces, then.
Okay, so you can't see it very well, but what you'll do is you'll take a different shaped piece, you'll drop it in here, and then depending on what other pieces it's touching or what other walls it's touching or what lines it's crossing in there, you'll get different points based on it. So there's definitely strategy that goes into it. And the big draw to me for this game is how simple it is. It's like, all right, you put it out, you explain how the scoring works, and then you can start playing. So it is interesting, and that's why I made the list. Because yeah, you guys will find that there's a lot of board games on here. Actually, there's just a lot of games on here. I actually have not bought very many games this year. It's been kind of a tighten the belt kind of year for us at my house. I got laid off at the beginning of the year, and we had to we had to dip into savings in order to make ends meet until I was working again. And after I was working again, we've kind of been trying our best to refill those coffers. And the other reason I haven't gotten too far is because I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! This year, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards are still crazy expensive. So, let's see. And then we have Heat, which is another board game. I actually got into board games. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't say I haven't bought games. I just haven't bought video games for a while. I have lots of board games. So, Pixel Knight says, if I had watched the Double Dragon cartoon as a kid, I wouldn't have wanted to play it either. So yeah, we got Heat, which is a really cool racing board game. Burgle Brothers, which is a hidden movement game. Enter the Spudnet. The reason that this made it on the list is because it's a game
cybersecurity
about programming. It teaches you like computer science principles in here.
A little boat.
And I was like, yeah, that,
Now the car.
you know, I love it when, because I really like programming and designing systems and whatnot. And so when you have a game that goes through that, you know, I really like it. So I put this game on the list to just check it out. From the reviews I've seen of it, it doesn't look like it's very good. The reviews I've seen mostly say, you know, it does a good job of teaching the principles, but it doesn't do a good job of being an interesting and engaging game. So we'll see. I know there's a few other games in this series, but made by this company. And then there's this one,
Share a story with you.
Sea of Stars. Let's see if we can get some gameplay up here. So you can see again, gorgeous pixel art. And it was actually, I watched, I think the first 15 minutes of this Sea of Stars review by The Completionist. And that's what made me want to try the game. I was like, okay, based on what he's saying, this is a game that I would enjoy. And I'm sitting here going, you know, but the thing for me is it's an RPG, and the RPGs take a long time. So, Pixel says, oh, Seth, I watched a random Disney Channel Christmas special with the stupidest bit of programming I've seen. Yeah. And there's sometimes where, you know, like Hollywood does programming or video game. Like I had a whole little rant when we played through Mega Man Battle Network, because I was like, this is not at all how software and networking would work, you know, so I have to suspend my disbelief a little bit more when, you know, we get into the fantastical side of it. But Pixel Knight says the character accidentally deleted some random code of a Santa robot and somehow it turns evil. Yeah, stuff like that. If you delete part of the code, then it just stops. It doesn't turn evil. But, you know, on the Disney Channel it does. Let's see here. Here's another one. So I talked a little bit about the Ace Attorney series. So again, I've played 6 games in the series. And it's funny because in this trilogy, I have played the first game in this trilogy. But I have not played the other 2. And so I'm like, okay, I want to play those games. So I might as well get them on the Switch and play the HD versions.
Objection! Apollo Justice is doing fine!
Honestly, it's the characterizations.
Time to bring it to an end.
Yeah. I really want to see, like, I've played this case. I remember that one. I really want to figure out what the hook is and how it works, because the way that they've crafted these cases, to me, really feels unique, because not only do they have to give the player enough information to solve the case, but they also can't give the player enough information that they can guess the twist that's coming up. And that's what makes it so compelling and so interesting.
The prosecution is also ready.
I didn't know Edgeworth came back. I guess that tells you how far I am in the series. Oh, I know Emma. Yeah. Emma's in the 5th case of the series. Interesting stuff. Man, there's just so many games.
Pirates, we love to sail the 7 seas. Just a bunch of scallywags who are as free can be. We swim through storms and waves, all because you see grand treasure and adventures waiting just for me.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Let's take a breather.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, how long have we been going? A little over an hour? Alright. Oh, it's not even out yet? Ah, so I guess we've finally gotten to the point where some of these games aren't out yet. So yeah, Las Vegas, another board game, Western Legends. If you guys like board games, this is my favorite board game channel right now, Actual Love.
Two-player card game that is perfect for couples. It's ridiculously easy to learn.
And yes, this Lost Cities game is super interesting and definitely one that I want to get. Okay, now, I'm a big fan of unique control systems, and this is where Vitamin Connection comes in. Way forward game. So you can see where we've got, you know, we have a Joy-Con and you end up tilting it and moving it around. So, yeah, the whole reason this game is on here is just for the unique control scheme. Looks super interesting to me. Oh, that's not where it's supposed to go. It's supposed to go over here. Alright, so yeah, this one is from Pixel Knight. Ultra Kaiju Monster Rancher. Okay, let's see it. Gamora. Zeton. Images are under development. Hello. Ultra Kaiju. Hey, Gar! We're discussing games that we're looking forward to. Oh, cool. Raising a kaiju, that's so interesting. Because, you know, usually you think of like a Tamagotchi or something. But, you know, this is supposed to be a giant monster. Enter tournaments with your kaiju. And I love the happy tune that's just playing in the background. It's like, oh yeah, this is, you know, this is just a happy little pet raising game where you're raising a kaiju.
All right, we got a brand new Monster Rancher game on our hands.
Oh, no. Oh, that's funny. That's cool. Oh, but yeah, welcome, Gar. I keep trying to catch your series on Saturday nights when I can. It's interesting just to, you know, even though I'm not following the story as much as I could, it's still interesting for me to just get on and see everyone interact and kind of go through that together. So yeah, it's really cool. Pixel I want this game partly because I've been an Ultraman kick, partly because it's the first Ultraman since the Super Nintendo would be released in English. Ah, yes, well, that would do it. Okay. Oh, I remember this one. If John Paul O'Keefe is still here, he was looking for a Mega Man game.
Boss room, I knew I was gonna wipe the floor with it. It was only my first run, but I've been going through his robotic minions like I was the IRS and they owed me money. I'd found a good weapon.
So yeah, this one is described as Mega Man Cross Doom.
Core, a defensive option that gives Ada a shield that can reflect.
So it, it plays like Doom, but it has a lot of inspiration and mechanics from Mega Man.
Blast, which has Ada jump into the air before coming down in a big explosion.
And it looks like it has a bit of roguelike elements as well. And I was like, oh yeah, that's totally cool. Garza's role-playing is super neat to me. A bunch of people playing through a book while being other people, and all of them have a common goal. Yes, I have some games I'm going to go through on the channel that are very similar. In fact, yeah, let me pull one out right now. I'll keep the chat up. So my brother, who was in chat earlier today, he's engaged to a wonderful woman in Brazil. And so they do everything remote. He goes to visit her when he can, and she's in the middle of getting a visa to come here. But one of the games I lent him is called Adventure Games: The Dungeon. And for those of you who are familiar with like King's Quest or Deja Vu or like Shadowgate, Rise of the Tentacle, Maniac Mansion, those kind of old RPG style games, that's what this is. What you'll do is, let's see, it's not going to hurt anything if I flip it over, right? Is they'll give you like a room, a dungeon. I know you can't see it very well, but they'll give you a room in the dungeon, and the different places have numbers on them. And so you'll say, I want to go investigate the bars on the window. And then you'll punch in the number and it'll say, oh, this is what you find there. Or here's an item that you found. And so your options are you can heal, or not heal. You can take items that you have and combine them together. You can use an item on a location, or you can explore that location. And there are things like keeping track of your health and whatnot. And so my brother and his fiance played all the way through this game remotely. And that kind of got me going, okay, if they can play through this remotely, then I have some friends I'd like to play this with. Maybe I can do a stream where I have them on a call and we see if we can play through the game together. Or in this case, since I've played through this game, I would get like maybe 1 to 4 other people to hop on and just kind of like help them play through the game. Garza, so it's a deck builder dungeon adventure. It's not a deck builder. Like there's no deck that you make. It's just a dungeon. It's just a dungeon adventure. Like in King's Quest, when you wake up, and it says like, oh, you're a knight and you need to go save the kingdom. And so you walk over to a part of the screen and you say, you like search here or eat this or pick up or talk to person. That's what this game is. And so as you're exploring the dungeon, it'll say, oh, you found this person, or you found these items, or here's, your friend is somewhere over here. And you just kind of go and explore it. And so that got me thinking. I was like, okay, there are a few other games. Let me grab one. Because I think that most most cooperative games you can play online, or at least play remotely. And so, like, this is my favorite board game right now. It's called Forgotten Waters. And what you do in this game is you get 4 to 7 people together, and you all play as crew members on a ship. And this is the closest I've gotten to, like, D&D. You'll get a character sheet and a backstory, and there are different stats you can increase, like aim, navigation, swagger, things like that. And so in this one, I was like, okay, well, if we got enough people together, you could play this remote, because it's a co-op game. You're supposed to get to the end of the adventure. And earlier in the stream, I was talking about how when it comes to tabletop or role-playing games, the way that I like doing it is I want the whole adventure to be done in 1 or 2 sessions. And so that's what this is. There's an app that you run with it, and the app is the captain, and the app kind of drives the plot. So it'll say, okay, you are senior members on a crew, this is your captain, and this is your quest. And then you all go on the quest together, and the primary objective is to get to the end of the quest. And so that's really interesting. These are things that I want to try in the new year. I want to try to put together some streams where, I just invite friends, people to come on the stream and say, all right, I want to try this, see how well it works. And if it works once, then, maybe we can try it with a different one. I was actually able, over the Thanksgiving holiday, I was actually able to play this Forgotten Waters game with my brothers and my brother's fiance, who lives in Brazil. And we were able to get through the whole adventure. It takes about 4 hours, but I feel like the important part was we were able to do it remotely, and that was a big draw for me. So that's something that I've been exploring and that I want to do. Like, I would love to play some games with, like, Scooter. Like, if Gar wanted to be in, I'd be like, oh yeah, totally. Like Metroid. Metroid is another guy I've had on the stream. He lives near me, so he's able to come over to my house from time to time, but I don't see him as often as I'd like. So it'd be great if I could play some games remote with him. So yeah. Pixel says, add in random cards against humanity cards in the middle of sentences. For example, you open the treasure dents and you find bees. Yeah, maybe. So yeah, that's definitely something that I want to explore in the new year. Let's see. So yeah, just a couple more that were on my list. So if you've watched the Did You Know Gaming channel at all, they are making a board game where you answer gaming trivia questions to progress the quest. And I'm like, yep, this is right up my alley. Garza, send me a message to Discord if you want to play. Not on a Thursday or a Saturday. Okay. Yep. Yeah, and this will be New Year for me. I'm very busy. So, yeah. It's definitely something I want to, like, run an experiment with, and then yeah, I'll totally hit you up. I think it'd be way fun to be able to play some games like that.
Answer the harder questions will allow us.
So yeah, this game looks super interesting. I think they just announced it a few weeks ago.
Instead, here we face off against
and
a beastly bovine seeking out revenge. Because
and as you can see, there's tons of, like, references to, retro video games and gaming culture and whatnot.
How much health has been taken off? With one more question successfully answered, we take down the beefy bad boy and we get our...
So yeah, when this one comes out, this is definitely another one that I'm like, hey, if it's a co-op game, we can probably play this online.
Damage and inventory size, as well as consumables.
Maybe we could have, like, chat run a character or something. These are all things that I think about. Since I started playing games remotely with my brother's fiance. So,
boss monster like Calamity Gammon, every and Greg at Digital Gaming. During our fun.
Yep. So yeah, super cool. Like a dungeon crawling trivia adventure, right up my alley. And then this is the last one that's on the list. This is from the latest Nintendo Indie Direct. And so I think this one got a shadow drop, so it's out now. But Backpack Hero, so it's a roguelike RPG, but the way you put the inventory in your backpack depends on what actions you'll take. And I was like, oh, this looks way cool. You know, like a game that I've recently gotten into is Slay the Spire. And I know that that's a super, well, not super. I know, but that's an older game. But hey, I just discovered it, and I think it's awesome. And this gave me, you know, like Slay the Spire vibes. And so this was one that I was like, you know, I want to put this on the list so I don't forget about it. This definitely looks like a game that I would want to try out. Pixel says, I'd love to do a Power Rangers roleplay game campaign in a stream. Or Transformers, or the million other ones I have. Yeah! And like Kensei Zero, I know he does Dungeons and Dragons remotely. So I know that that's possible. Okay, yeah, and that's the whole list. So, yep. Pretty interesting to go over them. I probably need to go over the board game ones a little bit more. Just to kind of figure out kind of what's there and what's not and all that good stuff. So, yeah, that was just kind of what I wanted to discuss. Like, streams are very hit and miss. I like streaming, but I had a little bit of time today, but I forgot about like doing Trials of Mana with Kensei Zero, and so he reminded me, and he's like, oh yeah, we're doing Trials of Mana tonight, and I was like, I completely forgot. I was like, I think I'm just gonna do a way short stream and then do a raid, and so I think he is on. So yeah, we can just go raid him. Let's see what he's playing if he is on. It looks like he's playing Valheim. So yeah, we'll go raid over here. And because like I know I'm busy next Thursday, and so I think it's the 14th will be the next time, and that's definitely going to be a Trials of Mana stream. Let's see. But yeah, this was fun for me. Just kind of go over, talk about games and whatnot. So we'll go ahead and do this raid, and then in a couple of weeks we'll come back with some more Trials of Mana. But yeah, thank you all guys for coming. It was super fun. Looks nice. Says most of the games I want right now are older ones. I think after this program I'm doing finished, I'm gonna buy a Steam Deck and play Batman Arkham Origins. See, and honestly, being interested in older games is great because those are the ones that are on sale and whatnot. So yeah, no worries. Okay, we will do this raid. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Okay, thanks for watching. We'll see you. Bye.